So Kamala Harris recently announced that she's not running for California governor in 2026. Does this mean she'll run for president again in 2028? For their sake, I sure hope not, but let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about former Vice President Kamala Harris announcing that she will not run for California governor next year, 2026. Now, some think this means she'll run again in 2028 for the presidency. Now, let's be clear. She ran the first time in 2020. It was disastrous. She came in dead last in the primaries. She didn't make it past 2019. It was that bad in 2020. 2024, we all know the 100 days, which was a complete dumpster fire from the beginning. And it remained that way throughout the entire time. She got stomped into line by our president, Donald J. Trump, and it wasn't even close. It was not close. So running again in 2028, I don't understand. You had an epic failure in 2020 and 2024. What will be different in 2028? Now, I think the only reason why she's talking, doing interviews and whatnot is because she has a book coming out, okay? She has a book coming out. And I'm going to read the caption as I play some of the video with no sound. What the world saw on the campaign trail was only part of the story. My new book is a behind the scenes look at my experience leading the shortest presidential campaign in modern history. 107 Days is out on September 23rd. I can't wait for you to read it. So if you see her doing interviews, podcasts, and whatnot, cringe TikToks, it's all to promote the book because it's a big cash cow. She could probably make millions from this particular deal if I'm guesstimating correctly. Now, let's go to this Colbert interview. I have to pause it at certain points because, you know, copyright, all that good stuff. But I will link to the full video in the description box. If you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit a link in the bio. Go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
You said you're going to sit this one out. Why are you sitting this out? Are you setting yourself for a different office that might be?
No.
Now, Colbert's crowd would love for her to try and run again, but his crowd is very limited, which is why he's about to get fired because they don't make any money.
That's what everybody, obviously.
I know, but honestly,
obviously, people project onto their hopes and dreams.
And honestly, that it's more perhaps basic than that. Listen, I am a devout public servant. I have spent my entire career in service of the people. And I thought a lot about running for governor. I love my state. I love California. I've served as just elected district attorney, attorney general, and senator.
I got to pause right here for the copyright. But yeah, she was attorney general, senator, all of that in California. Before all of the vice president stuff, before all of that, she had that background. Now, I think in California, it's easy to become a politician because look at Gavin Newsom. Look at Nancy Pelosi, Gavin Newsom's aunt. Yes, she is. Maxine Waters, Scott Wiener, all these weirdos in California. But once you get out of the Golden State, once you get away from the West Coast, it's a little bit different. You're trying to become the president of the USA. Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
But to be very candid with you, when I was young in my career, I had to defend my decision to become a prosecutor with my family. And one of the points that I made is, why is it then when we think we want to improve a system or change it, that we're always on the outside on bended knee or trying to break down the door?
Now, does improving the system, in your humble opinion, Ms. Kamala Harris, include locking parents up for truancy, which is what you were trying to do in California? Is that part of improving the system? I'm not quite sure how that really tracks, but I digress.
Shouldn't we also be inside the system? And that has been my career. And recently I made the decision that for now, I don't want to go back in the system. I think it's broken.
Okay, so the system is broken. And please, I apologize for the interruptions. Please forgive me. But I think that line right there, the system is broken, that was fed to her. A lot of what she says publicly, she's being coached on it. She can't just talk. Like, if you put me in that chair, I'm going to just riff with no preparation, no nothing, just me being able to speak. I don't think that Kamala Harris has the ability to do that.
I think there's so much. I mean, there are so many good people who are public servants, who do such good work, teachers and firefighters and police officers and nurses and scientists.
And that right there is also one, because there's been a big push from the mainstream media to quote unquote protect science, like Anthony Fauci, and I think Colbert did the whole thing about the Fauci algae. You had dancing syringes. So when you say something like that, that gets the crowd jumping. And then she kind of motioned to them to kind of, it was a classic Jeb Bush, please clap.
And so it's not about them, but, I believe, and I always believed, that as fragile as our democracy is, our systems would be strong enough to defend our most fundamental principles.
Now we're getting into the word salad. See, this is what you had. You had quite a bit of this on the campaign trail, quite a bit of this, which is why she's so heavily coached, because her handlers know that she has the propensity to get into this when she's searching for things to say.
And I think right now that they're not as strong as they need to be, and I just don't want to. For now, I don't want to go back in the system. I want to travel the country. I want to listen to people. I want to talk with people, and I don't want it to be transactional where I'm asking for their vote.
So she's going to go the Big Mike, Michelle Obama route doing the podcast. Now, I don't know. Hey, do you guys want to see the Kamala Harris podcast? I don't think that I really want to see that, but that's a clip right there. Again, if you want to see it in full without me interrupting, running my big mouth, I'll link to it in the box. But look, as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to Kamala. Hopefully you just don't do anything. Like the podcast, you speaking engagement, selling your book, okay, that's fine. But trying to become the president, I think that you've gone down this road not once, but twice. Thrice would be a mistake. It'll probably be worse than the first two times. The first time wasn't that bad because you lost in the primary. You came in dead last behind Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar, shaking like Muhammad Ali in front of a podium. She was doing that, yet she was able to come out ahead of you in the primary. You dropped out in 2019 before 2020 even hit. 2024, you pretty much were getting tomatoes thrown at you on stage from your own supporters. It was really, really bad. It was gruesome. I halfway felt bad. I was like, man, this is terrible. Why they got her out here like this? And anybody could have seen what happened to her coming from a mile away if they got a pair of eyes in the brain in her head. 2028, it'd be even worse. It'd be much worse. So stay away from office, do your little podcast and your book, and that's fine. That's fine. Now, the question is, since we know Kamala ain't going to do it, who's going to be the next person up? I'm thinking Gavin Newsom. He's going to be the next guy up. Now, will that work? Who they're going to run as a Republican? J.D. Vance or Vivek or somebody like that? I don't think that the left has a chance, and they most certainly would not have a chance with one Kamala Harris. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about Kamala Harris not running for governor of California in 2026 and probably not running for president in 2028? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I mean, she is a terrible politician. Probably a nice lady aside from the politics. If you take politics out of it, her personal views on certain things out of it, she's probably a nice lady, but not cut out for this. And I think she's demonstrated that over the years. The campaign, I mean, she looked so ragged and beat down. It was really, really terrible. Don't do this to yourself anymore. Don't do it to the country. Just go talk, go on Stephen Colbert, do 20-minute podcasts, TikToks, do that. That's pretty much where you're going to be strong. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.